Alright, now back at it. We got all the hardware removed. I simply use a cutting wheel and follow the welds. Just do it as best you can. Don't worry about saving the brackets. Well, the other brackets off the other one, yes. But you can fill that all with weld. All this is removed of every piece of here. Now we're going to go ahead and just sand the whole damn thing. Situate that. And we're going to get the other hardware off the other rear end. Before we do any paint, you want clean metal. It does the best welding. Besides, you paint it before you weld, it'll be all messed up on your paint job. Can't be messing up that candy, man. So there you go. Bear with me, and we'll get some hardware back on it. All right, we're back at it. We're starting to do the disc brake conversion kit. One of the plates is on, and these actually don't fit exactly correct because this is a rear end I got from the junkyard. This kit was ordered for a different rear end. But simply, these seals were leaking at the end of the axles. You can see the fluid all over. We're going to get the splines all cleaned up, get it all back in. We start here, seals, and then we'll work on putting the little gears back in it. And matter of fact, if you want to know what gearing you have, you can simply look at these numbers. 393. Yeah, it's pretty tall. This thing should be pretty quick, but there's one of the backing plates. Not all the holes line up to do. The other one does not. But we will find it. And those do need to be shimmed left or right to adapt to whatever the fitting of the disc is at. And I'll show you that shortly. Alright. This is the only way to do it. Frame rotisserie, baby. We ain't cooking chicken. This way you can definitely get to the bottom. Anything, any angle, all them spots you might miss, got you. Bear with me, we're gonna keep on going. Alright, late night in the garage again. You know, I'm gonna start making sections of videos instead of whole damn builds in one video. I'm not trying to bore y'all. So, there it is. We got the frame painted up. We done rolled this rotisserie over. Did everything on the bottom side too. She's looking pretty good. Very exceptional. It'll work. Alright, we're just starting the process. Upper and lower A-arms. Now remember, try to put back in about the similar amount of shims that came out of these two. Right between the mount of the body and the new upper control arm. The lower one is set stationary. It uses those mini U-bolts. Keep in mind, these are fine thread. The lower ones are coarse. And same deal on this side. We have brand new spindles, brand new lower control arms that match these. And we're going to be looking good here in a minute. So bear with me. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this piece by piece from now on. I think my long videos of full custom builds are just, I don't know, man. I ain't got time to watch a video for an hour. I'm sure you don't either. We're going to have to modify this when we come to the end on the drive line. Some of this metal was pitted horribly right here. We did paint this yesterday, so we left the heat on all last night. Got a nice little furnace. There we go. Bear with me and I'll keep going on these. Don't forget to put your Zerks in with grease. Alright, back on our long segments of this damn truck. Anyway, we're putting together all the suspension. We got to paint the spindles next. All this hardware, I used the old U-bolts, but everything else is pretty much brand new. Bear with me, we'll get everything assembled, painted, ready to go. Alright, back on it. We kind of simply slap this together. No shims or anything, because some of this is going to get removed and a hole cut under there. This side we're prepping up. We're going to do one side at a time. I just pulled everything back off except the lower control arm. This right here, you know, by instruction, drill these. And then there's a couple more, these two bolts. And then there's a lower bolt and a lower bolt. And this is for the 68 C10. We're fully converting this over to disc brake kit with all new tubular suspension. Bear with me. Alright, I just got the piece removed right here. those in place right there. This is the factory one. As soon as I get done, and then we cut our holes out. I actually used a plasma to blow out the pins. The back side, 4 bolts. And then we took, if you see the little 4.5-inch ring, this is part of the kit for the front suspension. We're going to be putting coilovers on. Factory bolts right up, and then just mark that. And if anything, when you get under this barely oversized hole by the 1/8 inch, I'll tell you from experience, if anything, go a hair big. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out and re-bolt that new bracket on. And we're just kind of going step by step. Bear with me. All right, welcome to instructions, boys. Of course, they ain't got nothing on here you need. Part of it. One thing I did notice, this is a kit by CPP, sorry. There's your number and your info, 63 to 87, all the same. Most parts fit a lot of multiple vehicles. One piece that they didn't exactly show where it mounted, which I found, and it lined up, and I got to drill that upper left hole right there on the top left, and then the rest of them line up. These two actually go on the outside of the frame. This is the driver's side, by the way, and that'll be for the upper A-arm 2-bolt mount. Now, it came with multiple setups. This is for coilover suspension, and I'm gonna have to guess there's obviously 4 of these bolts. Those must simply go in those 2 upper mountings, just so you know. And I did Rust-Oleum under this bracket, cleaned it up. I like to Rust-Oleum on mine so it don't rust out again. Bottom side, you'll notice that 2 holes are wider, 2 holes are narrower, and this goes on the outer side up from the bottom and sandwiches the factory metal on the front setup there. So just so you know. And there's all your info on the CPP kit as well. I'm going to go ahead and keep on going, and I'll keep on taking footage in the meantime. Alright, as we continue, directions, definitely say use anti-seize on all this setup. This piece with the notch in it will be for the top, and it can slide over that and back on. Spring, this goes upward. This is the bottom side of this for the adjustments. You'll need 2 of these washers and 1 bearing setup, this one per side. That will go between the 2 flats and sandwich them like that. And I normally like to put a little bit of engine pre-lube or something on those to keep them good. And the smaller side of the spring will be riding on top of those. But also keep in mind, this sits like this and slides inside the spring like that. This one here is the backing to that, which I'd put the flat side like that just below that. So all together you'll have that and that with these bearings on top of that piece, so that they can actually float and spin as you adjust them tighter or looser. So give me a minute, I'll assemble all this on one side so you can see exactly what I did, and makes it pretty easy for you guys. All right, we're at it. We got that all pushed through there. The adjuster's all the way at full loosened end. We put our anti-seize on the threads of that. That sits in a cradled position between all the fingers, which you'll see if you put it in. I simply used a ratchet strap to the bottom, around the top, and back to the frame. Just enough to get that spring to compress, to get this to line up on the top, get your bolt through, and then you can let it all off. Now we're prepped to put our new drop spindle in there, and we should be cake. Hold on. All right, and here's our almost completely assembled setup. We got one little divot I don't like. It seems like the shaft's a little tight on that top one, so I'm gonna look into that, check spacing. If not, I might have to oval it or open it up a hair. And then we gotta get our bearings for the spindle, and then everything else bolts on the disc brake kit. There you go. And when you want to tighten these up, lift or lower it, you're fully adjustable. Do use the tool that comes with it, spanner wrench. There you go. All right. Good morning, good morning. Wake up, mofos. Okay, anyway, we're setting up our new bearings. Got our spindles on, starting to get some of our hardware set up. This is the conversion kit to basically set the new caliper right here. And then we're going to be putting all new seals, bearings, inners, outers, castle nuts. Having a slight issue with the fitting on the ball joints to the new drop spindle. So I'm going to call and check out if there's a difference between a C20 and a C10. This was originally a C20 and we're converted it to a 5-lug. Therefore, mixing up some parts good. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that. But we'll figure it all out, long story short. You know, one other piece that we are going to have to order as well is the steering knuckle that comes back out this way for the tie rod ends. We're going to be painting all the pieces to that as well. And I might be modifying, getting a 4-link suspension for this. I don't know if we're going to run this. With the horsepower we're going to be kicking out of it, I'm not sure if I like that. All aside that, let's continue on the stuff that we do know. Then we're ready to go. Let's get these slid on there. And the rotors and everything will fit. And most of the time I assemble all this, take it back apart, and then retorque it, Loctite everything. It does come with instructions. These will simply help you. Those are set up well. So bear with me. I'll get this all together and we'll keep going. All right. We're just kind of step by step in this. Yeah, these were plain metal. Figured I might throw some paint on them before I slapped them on. Simple little accents like this make it look good. All the suspension's complete. Did notice that the angle of this, the pitch or camber, is off just a little bit. I think I am going to end up popping a couple of the factory shims in there, which I saved the whole bag of them. So we got both sides looking good. And yeah, had those covered up, just brought it in. Of course it's raining, this is Washington. Next step of the video, we're gonna go ahead, we just ordered our 4-link kit for the back. We're gonna be replacing all that. And we got our axle back there. Got ready to modify, slap the hardware on for whatever we end up with. As far as the setup, we went heavy duty, because this is gonna have the LS3, or LS3 6.2. Kicking quite a bit more horsepower than this thing has probably ever seen. So here we go, bear with me. We'll do that in the next part of the video, and keep on watching. Thanks, Phyllis.